Hey everybody, and welcome to our Monday night training call. I am Kathleen Hepler, Diamond Ambassador, and I have my very good buddy Val DiVicaro with us today. Say hello.
Hi everybody. How are you tonight?
You look super cute with your glasses on. I love it.
With my old lady glasses.
No, I love it. It looks so cute. We have so much stuff to talk with you guys about today. So Val and I had this idea, just to let you guys know, we plan out who's going to do the talks, and then we get together afterwards and say, all right, what do you think we need to talk about? And we've gotten so many people that ask us all the time, how do you keep it all straight? What do you do? How do you keep this straight? So we said, let's put out everything that we do out there for you guys to see. And you obviously, you're not going to take every single bit of this, because it may not work for you. But what I would suggest to you, I suggest almost every single call, get a pen and paper right now. Run so fast. I'll make little nice music while you do that, because you need to take notes on these things. We're going to make it all nice and organized for you, and try these things out for like a week, 2 weeks, a month. For some of them, you really need to try it for a month, and I'll explain those why. But you never know what's going to work for you. If you say, that's not going to work, before you even try, trust me that it may. So we're going to categorize all of the things tonight into 3 different things. We're going to talk about how to categorize, how to use your products, to organize your products so that you take them when you're supposed to, so you remember, and so that you become consistent. So that's the first one. The second one is organizing your business. That's going to be a big chunk. And the last one is how to organize your new customers, your new ambassadors. So it also goes with your business, but it kind of helps to snowball and create a duplicatable system, so that when your new customers and ambassadors get new customers and ambassadors, they automatically know what to do because you've trained them to do so. So don't just take this information as, all right, I need to do this for myself. No. You need to, as with every single call, take all of these tidbits, pieces of information, and share them. Never keep anything for yourself. Just like we say with Plexus that it's selfish to keep it to yourself, share them. Okay, that's my soapbox. Not really. I do soapbox every freaking week, don't I? Like, listen to my soapbox every week. Okay. First and foremost, I'll kick off with what Val and I are going to do is I'm going to tell you what I do, and then Val's going to tell you what she does. Some of them may be the same, so they may be a little bit differently. So you never know how we tweak it. And I know I'm going to learn a ton, because Val's got some good stuff that I know a squat about. And also, lastly, before we begin, my life, and I know Val's life is much more organized than mine, but my life is not full-on organized, guys. So when we go through all of the ways that this is the way it keeps me sane. I have a husband that travels probably now it's up to 2 to 3 weeks out of a month. I'm doing this business full on. And as we were saying before, volunteering out the wazoo with 4 kids going in 50 directions with sports and everything else. And I'm losing my mind. And the only way that I'm actually sane is because of what we're going to tell you tonight. Because I believe you me, none of this would happen. You would see me in the fetal position in the corner if I didn't have some strategy. So with that said, I should show you my desk that this is coming from. Like from behind, it looks kind of nice and clean, right? You want to see the crazy from behind the curtain? Okay, crazy from behind the curtain. All right, look. Think you guys are organized, guys? Not so much. Not so much. And then, but it's my own crazy. So know that just because we're showing you the highlighted Facebook clean version, the life behind the curtain is just like yours. Okay? Good. Let's start with the products. If you don't have a system for your products, please do try some of these things. First and foremost, one that I tell some of my, definitely tell my customers, is write on the bottle themselves, like this. 1 in AM, Vital Biome. They put it in the corner. They put it in that spot where they take it. That's what I tell all of my customers. when you take Vital Biome in the morning, why don't you put it in your coffee pot? That's where mine is. That's where that goes. BioCleanse, for example. I have a bottle in my bathroom. Guess what? We all go to the bathroom. When I go to the bathroom in the middle of the day, boop, I wash my hands, I go in, take my 2 BioCleanse in the middle of the day. It's the only way I would ever remember. So yes, we do work during the day. Most of us outside the home, if you're at a desk, take it, put it in your desk. And in the middle of the day, when you have to go to the bathroom, guess what? Oh, I might as well take my BioCleanse on the way to the bathroom. So that should trigger some way. Put your bottle, say a BioCleanse, in your desk and say, bathroom. Just write that on it. That makes it super simple in the middle of the day. Other things like probiotic, put it near your toothbrush. So before you go to bed at night, you brush your teeth, you take your probiotic at night. Hopefully you guys have that one set. Slim and my X Factor, I have that separate above in my little cupboard. So I take that together. Wherever I am during that time of day is where I have it. That's a super simple trick to start with. So placement is key. I also, for my customers, have a printed sheet of when to take the products and how. And if you say, Kath, I would love that printed sheet, good for you. It's in the file section of the Goal Diggers thing. So go there, and it says initial schedule. So customer initial schedule, something like that. And it tells you exactly how to start the products, when to take them, and how many of each. Sound good? All right. Val, do you have any other ways that you categorize your products?
Well, I don't take my products the same way. Like say BioCleanse, for instance. I take that at night with my ProBio. I'm echoing here for some reason. I'm hearing myself echo, which is weird. Let me just turn down my volume here. Okay. But I keep all of my products in a kitchen cabinet that is right next to my coffee pot, because I get up in the morning and I have my Slim, I take my Vital Biome, I know that I need to take the ProBio and all the rest of the stuff in the evening. I even take X Factor in the evening. And I have a reminder go off on my phone at like 9 o'clock. By then I know I'm not eating anything, so it's safe to take my evening product. So if you have to put a reminder on your phone or tell your customers to do that, I do suggest that to my customers, especially customers who are taking it the way that you do multiple times a day with the BioCleanse. I just think it's easier. And then after a while, you kind of get in the habit. I mean, that thing goes off and I'm like, oh yeah, okay. Yeah, I already know to take it. Do you know what I mean? But it's good to start people like that so that they can be consistent. But I don't really, I don't label anything or whatever. That's a good idea though. You're muted.
Okay. I don't do this all the time because I know to take one in the morning, but I do this for my customers a lot, especially the ones you guys know, the customers that are like, I don't take it, I forget. And your head wants to explode. Do that for them. There you go. Yes. Another thing that I do all times, I always carry a bottle of Block or a little container of Block in my purse at all times. Because when we're out, that's when you eat really bad. And that's when you really need it more so than any other time. Put it in your purse. I also, in the back office, or I think it's the back office, Plexus Print, one of those, I forgot where it was, they had the little pill boxes. You can get them anywhere. You don't have to get them that have Plexus on it. But I have pill boxes and I was trying to find mine, but I put it in the cupboard and I didn't want to get off the call. And I write on it, I separate it, BioCleanse, Block, and so I have that separate. Yes. And I have a few of them. I have one in my purse that says all the things you need while you're on the go, and then one for home that you take morning. I have all of the things I take in the morning. Yes. Accelerator, X Factor, whatever is all right there.
One thing about that, though, I just want to say quickly, Vital Biome should not be put into one of those containers. It's in a special container to keep the the actual probiotics alive. So you want to just keep it in its own container. If you have to put it in your purse like that, then so be it, but don't take it out and put it into something else.
Right. So if you guys can see this little container, it's very thick because it keeps out the light and the heat from anything else. So it keeps it much more secure and needs to be much more so than any other, because put your little smarty fact on the probiotic one. Both of them are freeze dried, which is the ProBio 5, the Vital Biome, both are freeze dried. It's fine. But the ProBio 5 has a gelatin capsule, which breaks down later on in the digestive process. Gelatin means protein capsule. It's hardier. So, which is the reason for that is because there's a digestive enzyme in it. You want that to break apart in your intestines rather than in your stomach. This does not have a digestive enzyme in it, so it could break apart with the acids in your stomach, and it's a vegetable-based capsule.
Yes.
Right. That has nothing to do with what we're talking about. Squirrels.
Exactly. Just wanted to make note of that. Don't put your Vital Biome in the container.
Right. We don't. That's good. All right. Is there anything else for products? If you guys have any questions on how to organize your products, give a holler or something. So yes, we answered Kate's question. I think we're good, right? So
Yeah.
did we miss anything about products? Did you want to say anything else on that?
No.
All right, cool. All right, your business. Hello. That's why we're here, right? Because every single person on this call is more than just a wholesale ambassador. They want to know how to organize themselves in their life in order to maximize their day, maximize what they're doing in the day, and maximize how much money they're making. That's why you're here, right? Okay. I'll go first with, oh my ever-loving Lord, get a planner. Get a planner. Can I say it again? Even if you say, Kath, I don't use planners, you will now. There's no yeah, it's a good idea. No, you will. All right. So the Plexus has a great one. If you didn't win it, this was from last year. If you didn't win it, who cares? It's okay. I mean, yes, they're wonderful because they make it very what are your goals and what's your PV and how many ambassadors, all that is in here, which is great. You don't need to use that. So here's another one that I used. It's super cute because I got it because it was cute and it had good stuff on it. So the reason why I love and need a planner, I put in there every single day my business stuff and my personal stuff. Because you are you need both in the planner every day. Write down times as much as right now, when at any other day when you're sitting down with your spouse and watching this little show, get your planner out and just start jotting stuff down over the next week, 2 weeks of things that'll come up, your kids' lessons and stuff like that. Put them in there. So, and there's a reason for that, because once you start really focusing on your business and you're going to say, okay, I'm going to meet with this person on this day, that your kids come first. So you don't want to upset the apple cart with double booking yourself. Put in there also one thing I love to do. Every planner, no matter what one you use, has, I already did my January of dates and my husband's going to be away. See that? Pretty much the whole month. Anyway, that's an aside. On this one, what I do is write my points every day.
Yes.
You should go into your back office every single day, even if you're a brand new ambassador. How many points do you start with on that day? If you have 0, write 0. Because trust me, a year down the road, you're going to go back and you're going to say, dang, January 2018, I started at 0. And 6 months later, I got 315. How awesome is that? So you're going to be super proud of yourself. So where you came from. So every single day, get in the habit, go into your back office and write your points. What I do is both. I do my main points and my outside leg every day. So that's the monthly part. Also, in there, write as you would for any other planner. Write the nonsense stuff. Mine has little ones underneath, checklist of all things you got to do, times of everything that you should, if you need to write things in time. I do that part. Anything else on the planner that you do differently, Val?
I usually look for a planner that has a side panel that says, things to do.
Mhm.
Every Sunday, I write down what my week looks like, and that includes what I do on a daily basis with who am I reaching out to, who am I following up with, and I put all of their names in that side column
Mhm.
and check them off as I go for that week so that I know that those things are complete. I am very much a list maker. So I make my list for everything I need to do for the week, and then I transfer it all over to my planner, and that includes everything down to what I'm making for dinner every single night. I mean, I'm just, that's the way I have to function, and I like to check it off as I put it into the planner. Then I like to check it off after I did it in the planner. It's just satisfaction for me to know that I accomplished what I set out to do for the week. And I think that when people get out or get into that habit, it feels good to do that, even if it's just petty little things that are going on throughout your day. To be able to say, I finished XYZ today makes you feel better and more accomplished throughout your day. So, but I put everyone's names and everything on that side column, for the entire week. So say I'm reaching out to 3 people on Monday, they're on there, the 3 people for Tuesday, blah, 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 blah. And then I just go through and I check everybody off as I'm, going through the week.
I love that whole idea.
This is like freezing up a little on me.
I'm muting you again. All right, I muted you again because it's wicked echoey. So unmute yourself. Maybe it was somebody else. Okay. The whole idea of even putting the meals down there, guys, think about what that will do for you. If you're sitting down on a Friday or a Sunday night and you're like just writing down different options and talking to your spouse, what do you guys want for dinner this week? Something like that. And you write it all out. Then it snowballs into, okay, do I have all this stuff for the week? That turns into a list for your groceries.
Yes.
Everything snowballs and it makes your life so much easier so you're not flying all over the place. As a side note, for that's not part of business stuff, in my little pantry cupboard, I have one of those, they have these sticky dry erase boards, just a piece of, it's like just plastic, and you stick it onto your pantry door and you use a dry erase marker to write down things that you're out of. And then as I'm walking out the door, I take a picture of it and I walk out. Those are just things that the rest of the family knows. If they use the last of the salt, they put it on the thing. So I don't have to be obsessive about it. That's just a little side, but I love that. I totally do the same thing.
And if you have an Alexa, which I know a lot of people do, you can tell her to make lists for you. And then you can have them on your phone when you're out grocery shopping or whatever. So, because sometimes I forget, I'm in the middle of doing something like cooking or whatever, and I'm like, I forgot to call so-and-so, remind me to do that, and I just tell her, and then, of course, I go back and I write it on my list because I have to write it. It's the act of writing it down. Something's going on with my computer here, and I might die in a second. So let me go grab a charger.
Okay. So while you do that, I'm going to share my screen and show you something that ties along with what Val was talking about, how she writes all the names on the side. What I do is I focus on my month. Who am I going to really focus on this month? How I always say I focus on at least 5. So if you think of 5 really solid potential soon-to-be customers, soon-to-be ambassadors, I also put in a bunch of my new ambassadors on this list. So I'm going to share it with you and explain it a little. And I did this on another call, but but so many people are asking me about it, so I'm going to do it again. If I can find it. Try that and this one. Sorry. All right. This is my habit tracker. This is just one I got in Google. You don't have to use this one. Use any one. What I do is put my every potential customer that I'm really going to focus on this month, new customer or new ambassador. So this pretty much is filled. Sometimes I have 2, but at least 1, and it's filled all the way down. So as you can see, it goes from 1 to 31, and you can use this for anything, but this is how I'm going to explain it for mine. Up at the very top of it, I highlight a lot of stuff. So if I have a brand new customer, I say, congratulations, they ordered. So their name is going to go in and, let's do it before they order. Brand new potential. I'm super excited. I reach out to them on the 1st, let's say. And so I check that I just do a little check that I contacted them. We know that it takes 5 to 12 contacts for people to purchase products. So this is my follow-up, forces me to follow up. So I'll put them on, I message them on day 1, no response back. 2 days later, hey, checking in, give them a call, give them information, check, they're asking questions. So the next day I follow up answering the questions. On day 4, I check, on and on and on. The day that they order is on day 6. I put a big fat star. Hooray, they ordered, great. So then I tell them that's when the clock starts to well, it doesn't start then. I say, once you've ordered, now give me a call when the product comes in. This is customer or ambassador, it doesn't matter. The products come in, great. Then at that point, that's when the clock starts ticking. I give them the sheet. The day that it comes in, I give them a sheet, and it's in your Gold Diggers file section of the initial schedule for customers. And from that point on, I highlight exactly the days that I'm going to follow up with them to make sure they're taking their products, taking them correctly, taking them every single day. So I start on day 6, they got it on day 9, let's say, okay? So day 9, they get their products. So I'm gonna highlight 3 days later. So I'm highlighting the 12th, I'm highlighting the 19th, which is a week out, I'm highlighting the 26th. Sound good? Because in that initial schedule, it says when they need to take it. And there's another document in the file section that says how to follow up with new customers. And it even says exactly what to say to them, how to follow up with new customers. Day 3, ask them these questions. Week 1, ask them these questions. So I'm super excited on day 9 that they get it. I know exactly how many checks I'm going to need to follow up with them. Does that make sense? Do you guys have any questions on that one? Does that make sense? Okay, cool. I got thumbs up and nose and good. Okay. For ambassadors, as they go, as you go on with them, if you're doing any coaching calls or anything, that's when you check every single time you're checking in with your team. Because we know their success is the same way as customers. Their successes are really in the very beginning dependent on them coming into the fold of making sure they get information, their questions answered, and those kinds of things. And guess what? I can undo this. Where's this document and this habit tracker? I just pulled this one off of Google real quick. But you can get them anywhere. And some are super cute with different colors, but I didn't want to distract you guys. So. All right, stopping share. All right, so that part, in addition, for new ambassadors, the follow-up one, so sure. In the file section, that one is too, how to follow up with new customers. It's in there too. So if you
Can I just add to this for a sec?
Yes, please.
Okay. I don't keep it on a sheet like that. I keep it in a notebook. Similar, the 3, 7, 2 week, month mark to follow up. But something that I got in the habit of doing, which works really well, is jotting down on like day 3 and on day 7, whenever you're following up, exactly what you talked about with this person and what symptoms they were having, what products you might have tweaked, just so that you are aware the next time you follow up what is already going on. Sometimes it's hard to, I'm like, oh, wait a minute, that wasn't the same person that was having those issues. So it is good to write those little, tidbits down so you know how to follow up the next time and you know what questions to be asking them.
I totally do that. Ooh, I did it. I'm muting you again.
It's echoing?
Yeah.
All right, mute me.
Okay. All right. I unmuted you. Okay. Another thing, and I do that too. And I'm going to talk about that part in a little bit. that habit tracker, guys, you don't have to do with just the people that you work with. This could be used for your goals. Are you taking your water, all of your water that you're supposed to for the day? Check it every single day to say that you're taking your water. And you can give it to your customers too. Say, guys, this might be good to keep did I take my Slim every day? And check. People might like that. You never know. But I definitely use that all the time. And I really like that. And that came in here in my little new in my new one that I got because I thought it was cute. Yes, I still use this one, but I like this one too. Okay. That leads into how I keep track of my people. And I know this is old school. We did this a long time ago, but I still love it. It's the Plexus Smart Organizer. I love this sucker. I'm going to show it again.
I don't think they sell that anymore, though. I looked for it.
I'm gonna photocopy that. If she doesn't, only if this girl doesn't. It's in Etsy. So
that's right. I looked.
If she doesn't do it anymore, I will photocopy the good stuff, because in here, guys, it's got little tabs on my points for every day. That's where I used to take my points. Don't look at the points. Anyway, there was a section on leads, on customers is pink, on ambassadors is green, and there's a section for notes in the back. So when I go to talk with new customer Josie Francis, I take out my thing and do exactly what Val said, is I write down the date of when I talked to them, what they said, what we suggested, so that when we follow up the next time, I know, because who can keep that in their brain? I certainly can't. If you're doing coaching with your team, so if you have a new ambassador, you are now a leader, you are now a coach. Whether you want to be or not, too bad, congratulations. So you should be following up with them all the time. So I have the same thing for ambassadors. And coaching pretty much is asking questions. So I have all of my questions out there of what I'm going to ask them each time and what they come back with. So every single week when I touch base with all of my people that I'm coaching, my notes are in there, because you can't keep track. But anything else on that part of daily contacting? I know you do a lot of that stuff too, Val.
Yeah, it's pretty much the same. I just keep mine in a regular notebook, and each customer has a page. I like the act of writing it down. It helps me remember things too.
Right. How about your Frank's list? Everybody needs that organized. I know that people say, oh yeah, you talk about it all the time. It's kind of elementary. We kind of know. Guarantee, 40-something people on the call right now, at least 2/3 have not done that. Guaranteed.
Exactly.
And guys, I'm telling you, once you start doing that, and keep it in your notebook, and just as we said, when you're sitting down with your spouse watching a TV show, just start writing down names. And I even in this organizer, it's got it sectioned off. Each one page is friends, one page is relatives. You could do it that way if you want. And I'll photocopy all that so you guys can see it if that helps you. What I always tell people next to the name, and Val does this too, is put the element of what you think Plexus can help them. And sometimes you might not know, because if they look super fit, you don't know if they have IBS issues or some kind of disease or disorder. That's okay. If you know, write it down. It gives you things to talk about and focus on. And also put on there what you think their objections might be, if it's money or time, so that you can talk with your upline or sidelines to say, all right, this person's going to say they have no time. Well, this is how you approach that person, and we could help you with that too. That's a whole separate call. But please do that. If nothing else, that will get you organized so that you know who to follow up with. We always say that posting on Facebook is just your advertising. You're not going to get customers or ambassadors just by posting. You need to reach out to people, though that's where that comes from.
And when you're working off your Frank's list too, if you have contacted, I use the Frank's list to then move that to my planner. That's who I go and contact. But when you are working off your Franks list, if somebody said no to you, just write the date next to them on when you contacted them and then put them on a rotation. I know that sounds horrible, but I like put them on a rotation to go back to them again in a few months. So I write the date that I talked to them and the date that I should be following up again or contacting them with some kind of information, even if it is not directly related to Plexus, just building a relationship with them even.
Right. And even in the habit tracker, if you put their name up on the top as a potential person and they say no, stick their name in the next month's habit tracker.
Mm-hmm.
So that you start with them then. And what I always say is keep them in your mind, even if though they say no, you're going to show up on their Facebook feed. So start posting, thinking about that person and their needs and how Plexus can help that person. So that could always be your focus. And then later on, when you reach out to them again, they might be more open to it. In Frank's List, it does not have to be on paper like Val and I have. Some people have it on an Excel spreadsheet. I know that Albert Orr a long time ago contacted me about that whole thing, and it was awesome. But I just couldn't do it on there. I needed the pen and paper. So it depends upon how it works for you. A lot of people have it on typing it out, and that's fine. Anything else on business stuff, Val? I got one more thing, but do you got anything else?
Well, I don't know if you want this with the business. Do you want to talk about just organizing the day, or is that, working the power hours or snippets of time, however people want to do this?
Yes, let's do power hour next, definitely.
And then I want to talk about the organizing stuff to send people.
Yes. Okay. And I have power hours right here, but I didn't mark it. See?
Oh.
Do you want to hit up power hour first, and then I'll lead in after?
Well, some people work better by setting time aside and doing everything that they need to do in an hour, whatever time of span that they have. But tackling everything at once. And if that's for you, that's great. But it's finding what works best for you. There are some days that is what works best for me because I have other things going on. So Monday may look like I'm going to be doing a power hour and getting everything done. But Tuesday, I have a little bit more free time, so I'm going to do stuff throughout the day. I am someone who likes to get it done and be done. That's just my personality. I don't like things lingering in my head. Me and Kathleen have had this conversation. I just don't like to be thinking about it all day. So, but when I first started, I was working and outside of the house. And so I had to fit my business into snippets of the day. And one thing I didn't do was schedule those times in, and it was frantic for me, like trying to figure out when I was going to do this. So once I actually scheduled in, even if it's 15 minutes, I'm scheduling 15 minutes in the morning when I get up to do XYZ. And then 15 minutes after lunch, I'm going to do, this, and that. So that I knew exactly what I needed to do and make them productive. I wasn't just scrolling through Facebook, doing that kind of stuff. I was doing actual productive work in those 15-minute periods. You can get a lot done in 15 minutes if you're sitting down and knowing exactly what you're going to do. So if you have, back to our plan, plan everything out, and you will know what you have to do. If you have that all organized, you can say in this 15 minutes, I'm going to contact 5 people. And there's sometimes, and this sounds so crazy, but sometimes first of all, I get up before anybody else in the morning because I like peace and quiet. And I like to work in the morning, early in the morning when no one else is around. So sometimes I open up all these chat tabs and I message people, but don't send it until later because I don't want somebody's phone going off at 6:30 in the morning, like ding, ding, somebody's messaging me. So they're all open at the bottom of my screen, And then at like 8:30, I just press send, 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 send at the bottom of my screen so that everybody gets sent the message at the same time, but it's not super early. So if you're up late at night, if you're up early in the morning, that's a little trick that that I use. But for the most part, schedule out when you're going to be working and when you're going to have your family time, and don't let it, you got to have separation. So if you are sitting down and you're working for 15 minutes and then you're going to go to a family event, schedule in your next 15 minutes after that so that it's not so overwhelming, because I did feel that way in the beginning. Like, I don't know when I'm going to do this because I have a cross country meet and I have this and I have that. Well, if I'm sitting in the car, then I have my list and my planner with me, and I know who I'm supposed to be contacting. That's 15 minutes in the car to cross country meet that I spent on my business. But I scheduled it in, and that made it much, much easier having basically work hours. Nobody needs to know your work hours besides you. So, whatever works for you that day. I mean, my week looks different every single week. It's not the same every day. Some days I'm busy with things for my kids, and some days I'm not. So, there's Kathleen's phone. But yes, that's how I do it. But for the most part, I do like a power hour. I think it works best. Her phone must still be ringing.
All right, now it's on. I'm trying to get out of here. But I do the same thing with Val. But when I have to have my list of people that I need to talk with, and I do the voice messaging, it depends upon how generic my voice messages are. You can't talk on these voice messages for more than 59 seconds anyway. But if you're doing something short and sweet, you can even copy and paste it if you want to. I don't know if you guys know that. You can copy and paste your voice messages. But what I do is that's even faster. And I love it because it gets my point across in my voice. They know my excitement. And it's something short and simple like, hey, Susie, I know that you've seen me do my Plexus stuff all the time, and you come across my brain because I saw some of your awesome pictures. I really wanted to talk with you tomorrow. Do you guys have time for coffee after work? I would love to sit down with you and just catch up, and I wanted to ask you a couple questions about this. That's it. So I know, right? You can copy and paste voice messages. They're super awesome. So, but I do that all the time. It takes literally no time at all. And when you reach out, it's super scary, I know. But here's another trick. If you mess up in the middle, you can take your thumb and scroll it up to the X, if you guys have that on your phone, and you can start over. I do all the time. I'm like, oh, I don't want to say that. And then I start over all the time. So, yes, I mess up in a 30-second to somebody all the time because I sound like a doofus, right? So I do it over and over, and it's okay. But once you get in the habit of doing it, people hear your excitement, they hear your voice, and they say, oh, sure, I'd love to have coffee with Kathy. I don't really care about what she's talking about with Plexus, but I'll meet with her. Something like that. And it's super simple. But when I was working, this is for the people that say, I have no time. When I was saying before, Sarah says I've sent screw ups. No, you scroll that puppy up to the top, to that X, and then it starts all over again. It's great. All right. With my husband traveling all the time, and when I was full in with this business and it was flying and I was Ruby, and I went back to work with my 4 babies. One was in preschool. So I worked a teaching job, which is all the live long day with 4 babies and a husband that travels, and this business flying through the roof. It can be done. Yeah, I lost my mind for a little bit, a lot of it, but the only way that I stayed stable was before the kids wake up. Don't let them dictate how your day is going to start. You dictate, as Val said, how your day is going to start. You get up, you get dressed, you have your pink drink, and you do some things before they wake up. Then at your lunch break, while you're sitting, even if you have 10 minutes and eating a sandwich and you have students or someone in your classroom, you can still send out a couple voice messages in the afternoon. But that power hour, if you can do a whole blasted hour at night when the kids are in bed and you have some quiet time, that so much can be done at that time, because people don't have to message you back right away. That's the beauty of Facebook. And you can do so much right then. If you can break it apart, 15 and a half an hour at night, that's still your power hour. But don't shortchange yourself. And don't skip ever skip a day. In my almost 4 years in this business, I have not skipped a day, even on vacation, even in an airplane, never missed a day, because I know the power of this business and what it can do. So if nothing else, do something that brings business in every single day. And that does not mean posting on Facebook. That does not mean reaching out to your already ambassadors, already customers. They're already here. Building a business means reaching out to someone new every day, even if it's one person. That's building a business.
And it doesn't mean saying Plexus either. It means reaching out to people and building relationships with people too. That you need to get to that point first. So if you pick, I know we talked about this on another call, you pick like 5 to 10 people a month that you're going to pay attention to what is going on in their life and comment and like their post, and then message them things. They're going to start to see things that you're doing, and you're building a relationship with them. That counts as, and without saying Plexus, you don't want to throw up Plexus on people. So that should never be like the first message unless they've said something or you have this feeling that they, if you know what's going on with them, like if you know that they have issues, that's a different story. Like I've seen your posts about fibromyalgia and I know I have something that could help you. You know what I mean? That kind of stuff. But building, working to build relationships is key too.
Right. Absolutely. But doing at least one person a day.
Yes.
If you go throughout the day and you know that you haven't purposefully made a step in your Plexus business, it means you've made 3 steps back, because slow and steady is not going to get you anywhere in this business, which I'm super sad to say, but hard and fast gets you somewhere. So be bold with it. But that's my soapbox. So power hour, uninterrupted connecting time. Do not think that scrolling through Facebook is part of your power hour. It is not. It's actually detracting from it. If you have to use a timer and even say, all right, I can only do an hour today, I'm going to do 15 minutes. So set your timer. And once you get interrupted, turn your timer off. The next time you go back and can say, okay, I got a good 15 minutes, turn the timer back on again and see if, and then in the evening, you say, okay, I have 34 minutes left. Let's see what I can do in 34 minutes. And tell your spouse, remember, please, for the love, I have learned the hard way, please connect with them beforehand and say, hey, honey, this is a big deal. And I think I can do a lot with this, but I need your support and understanding that I need 34 minutes tonight of just doing this. Can I get your support? And that's a big, big part of it. All right, let's move on to building customers and ambassadors up for success. One thing, I'm getting it, is always being prepared. I have a binder or a folder at all times. I have like 10 of them set aside that have things in them. Here, so pen and paper out. Some of the things that are in them are always 1 stick of Slim. At all times. That's a no-brainer. Only 1 stick. Don't put a 3-day in there. Just 1. Always a catalog. Always. Always this health questionnaire. That's just my personal thing. I always put the health questionnaire in there because it, and this is also in the file section of your Gold Diggers thing. It's called, guess what? Health questionnaire. But this is just something that I pulled from, it's called yeastconnection.com, and they had a questionnaire. I don't even think it's on there anymore, but it's super helpful. So if you haven't taken it, take it yourself. But I always have it in there because then it brings them, the people, if they do it on their own aside, it brings them back to the whole reason why they have their weight or whatever issue they have. It brings it back to gut always. So that's how you bring Triplex back into it. And hold on. They have a lot of these little flyer things in there too. I always have these in there. Depends upon what the person might be interested in, but if you have some of these, stick them in there. This is the old thing, a block, so I need the new ones, but it's got little things in there. If you don't want these, you don't have to buy these. You can go into the shareable section, but you don't, and print them out, but you don't really have to, because in our new catalog, it has a lot of that information already there. So do yourself a favor, catalogs and an extra bag of Slim. If nothing else, that is a must. And it depends upon if you want to get fun. I put sometimes I put the Success from Home magazine. You don't have to. It's what you talk about with them. But I always have that just so I look a little more professional, a little more prepared. And so if I didn't know, this is especially for the new people, if you don't know what to say, you pull that catalog out and just flip through it. All the information's right there. You don't have to know a thing. So if you're sitting having coffee, you pull that out and you could walk through it with them. Right there is your own opportunity event. That's all we do. Whenever we go to do an opportunity event, that's pretty much what we talk about, is the stuff that's in there. So just flip through and things will catch your eye that they put in there about certain ingredients and all that stuff. So that's my.
And you're keeping that in your car, correct? Right?
Yes.
You keep that in your car? Yes. Okay. I do the
And
same.
I have in a little bag, we have, how many cinch bags do you have in your house? I have a cinch bag with about 4 of them in the way back and in the trunk.
Yeah.
So when I need it, it's there.
Yes. Same thing. I do the same.
Anything else for potential people? You want to say anything else?
Well,
your phone thing. Do your phone thing.
The phone thing. So, people, when you're talking to people, they're going to ask you questions like, well, what are the ingredients? And, just certain things like that. So I make a note on my phone in the notes section, and I keep them. Then they are, that's something that, a general question that somebody asks that I know people ask all the time. I have a note for that. So that I could just send it to them. I also have a picture of every product's ingredients saved in a Plexus only photo album on my phone. So that if I need to send somebody something quickly, I know exactly where to find it. I'm not searching through 3,000 photos that are on my phone because that could be a little frustrating. So I go right to the Plexus folder. All the ingredients are there, a snapshot of all of those. I keep the compensation plan there, a snapshot of the chart. I keep a graphic of how to start the products, all that kind of stuff, so that it's simple and easy. But the notes is a big thing. Like if you save things on your computer, or some people save things on the computer, but a lot of times. And I do both. I mean, I do have things saved on my computer, but if I need to send somebody something quickly, like how to start Triplex, step by step, I send them the graphic and then I send them the note that I have saved. All I'm doing is copying, pasting it from my notes section, which makes it much easier, and I'm not typing the same thing out 400 times.
You just blew my mind. I didn't even know that I could make albums on my phone. I'm like,
yes, I keep them all there separated because it is, I go to look for something on my phone and it's frustrating because there's thousands of pictures on there. I'm not a deleter. I don't go in there and delete very often. So that's the way to do it.
I was that one that would scroll through like, I know this sucker's in there somewhere.
Yes. I know.
But I do keep my notes section is a biggie. And again, in my notes section, I'm sure you guys have the same thing. You could do talk to text all the time in there. And you can even record your voice in there. So here's another trick. So if you have people that you tell all the time about how to take your products and they want to hear it and they say, tell me again how to take the products. I know you sent me the sheet. I know you already told me. You go to your notes section, You can copy
Mhm.
your voice, because I've recorded my voice in my notes. Hey, just want to let you know, here's how I always start my products. La, 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 la. You can copy it and put it in there. So
Yes.
so
It's a
again,
fantastic tool.
right. So my voice is there and all that. So
Mhm.
it goes in their brain and all. And I also have it typed out. And I always at the end say, I'm also going to type it out just so you know, and you have it there. So they hear it and they see it. I
Right.
will email that way. But I didn't know about the picture thing. Also, setting people up for success. If you haven't noticed by now, I'm huge on lists and organizing. That's why Val and I did this call. In the file section, it has, I put in there, new ambassador checklist. Oh, so when you get a new ambassador, you're like, what am I going to do? I don't know. So it says immediately at sign up, you do these, there's 7 bullets. Within the first 24 to 48 hours, these bullets, and it says exactly what to do with them, how to do it, all of it right there. And it even says their coming out post, and it gives the words in there of their coming out post. So when you tell your new ambassador that says, oh, I really just want to do it for myself, I want to see how I feel, and I'm not going to go out and say anything yet, but I just want to see how it works for me. All right, so then you say, I totally understand, but I would love for you to do this with at least one person to do it with you. So what I would love to do is, let's just take this. How about you just read through this, take a cute picture of yourself and put this on there. Or even better yet, if you're in person with them, which you should be when you walk through this new ambassador thing, if you can be, you sit down with them and you say, hold up your bag of Slim, click, take the picture. Then you take their phone and you have all of that information, and you could just say, I'm going to make your first post for you. Take that picture of that person, bloop, 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 and do it for them. And then show it to them beforehand. Say, this is what it is. There you go, and you made it. Yes, Lisa, the information is in the file section of Goal Diggers, and it's just, one of them is new ambassador checklist. So here's a bunch of things that you can go through. Go to the file section. You're going to find how to start your initial schedule for your customers. You will find, Candida die off, because when they say, oh, I feel like crap, I think I want to quit. No. Here's, and you could even give it to them beforehand and prep them and say, this is how you might feel. Keep the list handy. I always do.
Yeah.
So your initial customer schedule, your new ambassador checklist, all of that stuff is in there. And then over the next couple days, I am going to also put in just a sample habit tracker, information from the Plexus Smart thing. If she doesn't sell it, I don't want to take business away from her. But if I can't find it, I'll put it in there as well. Sound good? Anything else we missed? Do you guys have any questions on that stuff? Oh, Karen, for those that don't see the chat part, Karen Moody also added that in that little yellow, my little folder, she always puts the disclosure information. And I also put the price list. And guys, which is also in the file section, but guys, in your back office, tons of information. So that price sheet is in your back office. You can go there too.
You can keep it on your phone. You can keep it on your phone.
Yes.
In your Plexus file.
I am. Oh my God, guys, guess what I'm going to do when I get off this call? Oh, good question. Kim said, do you plan out your posts ahead of time? Actually, yes. If it's in groups, dude, I schedule like weeks out. Like in some of our Goal Digger stuff, if it's something simple, I might say like the Friday, I found a cute little cup. It says Happy Friday. So I'm like, oh, it's the Friday. So I'll wait and I'll stick it in, and I scheduled it for Friday. In some of the smaller groups that we help with, some of the business building groups, we do a lot of the scheduling for those, because we know high traffic times are between 6 and 7:30 ish. Yes. And between 8 and 9:30, would you say?
Yes, yeah, definitely. And Thursday nights and Sunday nights are the biggest watched evenings on Facebook.
True, because Thursday night used to be always the good TV shows. I don't even know if it's on Thursday anymore.
I don't know.
I know, it used to be Friends, so everyone's home. And Sunday, everybody's home. But definitely those are key ones. You can't schedule your own personal ones. You can if you do it use Buffer or Tiny Torch. which that's a whole separate call because we haven't done that in a while. But
you can save your post in your notes.
Oh, yeah.
And then you can copy and paste it in the morning when you get up or whenever time. A lot of times they see things that I like and I'm like, oh, I'm going to go with this and I'm going to just edit it to whatever, match more of myself, obviously. And I just put it in the notes and then I'll just go back in there in the morning and post it.
One thing that if you guys don't know this part, oh my God, I save, you guys got some great stuff. So thank you for that. I shouldn't say steal. I duplicate all the time. On Facebook, as you do your scroll, which we all do, and you know that all Plexus people are coming up in your newsfeed a lot more than anybody else's lately, I go through and I save really good ones. Or if I have people in my head that I know I should talk about or talk like issues, health issues or something, I'll find a Plexus person that I know has those health issues. I will go to their page and I'll scroll through. Next to their name, should I do this on here? Why don't I screenshot it? I'll do it this way real fast. Oh, here it is. Okay. Let me go through. Oh, I don't know if I should. You never know who's messaging me. Let's not. All right, I won't because
I know. It might not be a good idea.
Okay. Next to their name up in the top corner, there's 3 little dots. So click that and down will come save post. And you can save awesome posts. It'll save when they did it. They'll save the pictures. It'll even save the comments. And all on the section over on the other section where you have names of all the groups you're in, that's right underneath there. It says save posts. So all those awesome ones that I've stolen from all of you guys, then I take them later, switch them to make them sound more like me, put a fun picture of me, put it out there. So you don't have to get new ideas all the time. And you certainly can do posts based from there. That's a biggie that I do all the time. What else for that? I know there was something else, but that was pretty much it.
Yeah, I think that was it. That's all I have written here.
Okay, very good. So if you guys, we'll stop the recording part. Oh, wait, 1 second. She says, I've read that using those third-party apps goes against you in the algorithms. Yes, Facebook doesn't like that. It really doesn't. The new algorithms for Facebook. So we used to say, post often, post 3-5 times a day, blah, 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 blah. Now, if you haven't seen those new Facebook algorithm posts, they don't want you to do, if you do that, you're kind of defeating yourself.
You're hurting yourself, yeah.
So if you have a really good one that day and you post it and people start liking it immediately and commenting immediately, that will boost it really fast. If you reply within the first 15 minutes of someone commenting, within the first 15 minutes of you posting, if you're replying to people, it bumps it even further. So guys, all the people on this call, you're all business builders, right? So get to know each other, friend request each other, and start commenting on each other's things, just because they'll do the same for you. Start every time you see especially if you're going to save it to use it later, comment underneath, please. That's just the kind thing to do. Don't just like it. That doesn't really count. It'll bump in the news feed. So then you don't really need to for the rest of the day. It starts putting it out there to everyone. I always do my family stuff just to my friends and my Plexus stuff out to public. Always. Because my family and friends want to see my kids and that's okay. But I don't want stranger gurus looking at my kids. So that's all private stuff. So make those things your public so that when they do get out there, so many other people are going to see it. And you guys can share it with each other as well.
Yes, absolutely.
What else? Anything else? All right, I'll stop the call for now.